Alrighty, let's rock and roll, baby. Good morning, everybody. How you doing? We need a drum roll. Seriously. Happy New Year to you too, Adrian. It's good to see you here every morning. Cybersecurity Central. Michelle, Kimberly, Tom. Mulberries, good morning. I don't know what our Halloween's, Pete, but I'm good. I'm glad to see you. Guys, we made it. We made it through 2021. I know there's 24 hours left, but I think we're going to be able to cross the finish line. Hey, Sean, where are you guys calling in from? I'm always just floored by where people are coming from. Malaysia, Nigeria. We had someone from a country like Tunisia, I think, recently. First things first. You're dang right. But the start of something bigger. I'm super excited. We've got a special edition of First Things First. Let me introduce everything really quick in case you're new here or catching this for your first time. My name's Gerald Auger. This is First Things First. We go through the top news stories of the day. We break them down, and I give my professional analysis after each one. Occasionally, I get all frothed up and spicy, and sometimes it's just like, here's what you need to know. Great audience, great chat. A lot of people in here, always bringing the heat. So if it's interesting to you, please stay, please enjoy, please be part of the community. Now, listen, today is going to be a little different. I was not surprised, but I was bummed out when I came into my computer this morning and realized that CISO series apparently does not do a New Year's Eve episode. But because I feel compelled to provide for you guys, right? I feel a real accountability and I guess a demand of service to bring you guys the news, in my opinion, on First Things First. And it just worked out. I was talking to Pete McKinnon on Discord earlier today. For some reason, I woke up early today. No apparent reason, nothing. And I literally went through and did my own First Things First, right? So this is a brutal amount of more work than I normally do for this program. But again, I felt compelled to bring you guys First Things First in its truest sense. So that's what we're going to do today. It'll be a slightly different format, as you can imagine, but let's have some fun with it and let's get going. Hey, Keith. Happy New Year, everybody. Okay, so if you want to play along, guys, you can do !Discord. If you're not already a member of the Simply Cyber Discord server, you can become that. It's free, no big deal. And I've posted a link to all of the stories in the main chat SC channel on the Simply Cyber Discord, okay? So if you want to follow along, if you just want to chill out, have some coffee, and I'll put the stories up and you can just follow along that way. So let's have some fun, okay? I don't have any fancy music, but I guess I can, just do Finfrock here.
I'm a crypto evangelist. I love it, love it, love it.
Okay, so let's get into the first story. Oh, and just so you know, Threat Post and Hacker News are the two sources that I'm pulling my stories from. I really enjoy these two particular kind of blog sites, aggregator sites, whatever you want to call it. I find them to be really good to complement what I do at CISO series. Okay, so the first story that I want to bring you guys is crypto mining attack exploits Docker API misconfiguration since 2019. Basically, these attackers have been exploiting misconfigured Docker APIs that allowed them to gain network entry and ultimately set up backdoor on compromised hosts to mine cryptocurrency. Attackers have been consistently abusing the API misconfiguration during the campaign's active period, but their evasion tactics have changed over time based on what's going on. Just as a second, oh wait, that is not the same story. Okay, yeah. So basically, this is what's going on. Okay, so not a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, right? That this sucks, but you got to remember with Docker API and with cloud resources and stuff like that, it's it's like virtualized systems, and it's not. I don't want to say it's easy to track, but it's not as simple to realize that you have um, misconfiguration going on. What I would encourage people to do, well, there's two things about this story I want to share. One, I would encourage people to regularly scan their external network perimeter. You can sign up with Shodan for like $59 a month. Again, this is more for businesses, right? On the cheap, you can sign up with Shodan for $59 a month and get the same intel that bad guys can get, right? And you can at least see where you have open ports or open services, right? And then you can look at which ones are open and see if there's misconfigurations, right? Hire a pen testing team to find your stuff. One other thing that I really want to share with you guys, and this is kind of macabre, but bad guys now, like, this is not uncommon. Installing crypto mining on your systems is like, it's not as prevalent as ransomware, but it is a payload du jour. And I almost feel like threat actors are doing it because if they go for ransomware, they mess up your entire operation and they may or may not get paid. If they install crypto miners, um, like, it may not even be detected, but even if it is detected, like, let's say I'm an information security officer, right? Bit of a stretch here, right? And I find crypto mining on an endpoint or something like that. Yeah, I want to clean it up and get it out, but it's more like a rash on my skin than it is like a missing appendage, where the level of or the criticality of response is way lower when we find mining stuff on it. So I don't want to say it's acceptable. I don't want to say I encourage it. But as a practitioner, I'm telling you, the mining stuff will stay a bit longer, and they're getting paid. They're getting paid, and if they infect enough machines, they're just generating all that revenue. All right, next story. All right, so the next story that I'm bringing you guys is, it's kind of, there's two stories here about it, but the first one from Hacker News: ongoing autumn crypto mining malware attacks using upgraded evasion tactics. Okay. Also, let me see what this is. The other story, I'm sorry, this is, again, I had to throw this away. Threat Advisor e-commerce bots from domain registration services for mass account fraud. I'm sorry. There's two stories that have, there's one story that has two links, and I thought that was it. Okay, so this particular story is targeting the retail industry. I don't know anyone that works in that space, but this is a really interesting problem. I had to do a bit more research myself. Thank you, Tom, for dropping the links in chat. I had to do some research myself because I did not understand what the hell the threat vector was, or what the attacker, or what the attack was. Okay, so this story basically goes into the idea that Dean Lundrum over at Prime Threat Research did an analysis and found that shopping bot campaign groups they set up 850,000 people. That's a ton, right? Fake user accounts, and they're using like these domain name registrations that are wicked cheap. I don't know how this works, like how GoDaddy and Google domains and stuff is like $20, and then somehow Namecheap is $1.18 for a domain name. But anyways, they register a domain name, then they create all these fake user accounts that use the domain as their email, and then they've got some automation and stuff, and they basically sign up for user accounts on retail websites, and then they buy stuff from the retail website, taking advantage of like Black Friday deals, or whatever, end of year deals. Sites are always running deals, right? So what's the actual threat? Because based on what I just told you, the retailers are making bank because basically these threat actors are buying all of their product, right? So they're selling out all their stock, which is the entire purpose of a retail business, right? Well, what I actually discovered is one of the primary drivers is they will buy out all the stock at the discounted price, or at just regular price, and then turn around and sell it and at a markup. And the example that really drove home to me is that this style technique of attack is why the PlayStation 5 was nuclear hot last holiday season and no one could get one. It wasn't that Sony wasn't making them. It was that these type of bot infrastructures, they can move so quickly, much faster, like sniping almost. They can move and get all the product and then turn around and basically sell it, right? So that's the attack vector. I mean, it's a real thing for retail to be able to validate legitimate traffic versus malicious traffic, but at the same time, it's a huge investment by the threat actors to basically carry that product and have a warehouse and stuff like that. So I was surprised by this particular risk, but it is interesting and very entrepreneurial of the threat actors. Okay. All right. Next story, guys. Let's see. All right. Next story is going to be fueled by pandemic. Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the story that I read to better understand that that risk and that threat actor and kind of the use case of the PlayStation 5. So if you guys want to dig a little deeper on that, that's what we would do. Okay. Sorry, Tom. I know that we're kind of moving loose and fast. Tom, if you can drop the 5 cybersecurity trends to watch. So the next story comes from Threat Post, 5 cybersecurity trends to watch in 2022. I thought this is just a fun story for discussion. Maybe we spend a few minutes on this one. All right, so 5 security stories. So the people at Threat Post put together some top 5 things to think about. I'll give you each of them and spend a minute on them. Number 1 was that there will be a growing government interest influence in cybersecurity, and they cite that SolarWinds, Colonial Pipeline, spyware, privacy concerns were kind of the big stories of 2021, and most people agree that a lot of regulation and investment is going to be coming in 2022. This is really like the most milquetoast, safest prediction I've ever seen. Okay. Yes, like Biden's already released legislation for cybersecurity. CISA is like all up in our face with cybersecurity and public-private sector interface, right, or integration and support and collaboration. Okay, so yes, government influence is going to increase, but not in a draconian totalitarian way. I feel it's going to be much more collaborative. We've got voluntary incident disclosure. I want to say it's the FBI, definitely DHS has a service where you can contact them and they will help you if you're suffering like a breach, if you're like a small business and you don't have resources to properly protect yourself or you don't know what the hell to do. They offer those services. I will tell you, they offer them, but being the psychopath I am, I've actually contacted them in order to like better understand what the service is and how it works and what's the time expectations and stuff like that. And it's been met with less than stellar responses, right? They're not rude, but they don't respond in a timely manner. It's very governmental. The reason I contact is because I do consulting on the side sometimes for small and medium sized businesses that can't afford a full time cyber professional, and that's a resource to give them. Is like, hey, if in case of emergency, break glass and contact this group. So the service is there, but I have been less than impressed with it. Okay, number 2 prediction for 2022: supply chain is the new ransomware. Okay, wait. Number 2 was social engineering endures. I'm sorry. Again, no surprise here. They're just saying that basically, it says it's gonna start shifting the way it looks at ransomware, realizing it's not ransomware itself that's the problem, but the entry point. Now, with all due respect, this is coming from Ian McShay, CTO at Arctic Wolf, which is a managed detection and response service provider. I'm sure he's a very smart person. I do want to read you what he said, and then I disagree with him, basically. He said, we'll shift a greater focus on what to do after the attack and focus on how to predict and protect the first line of attack using data science to model scenarios that can highlight the potential weaknesses in the supply chain. This will only come in tandem with greater transparency and disclosure. Okay, so his prediction, I guess, is that instead of dealing with cleaning up ransomware, we're going to we're going to start looking at how ransomware comes in using data science and modeling scenarios about the supply chain. I mean, I don't really get it. I mean, we are already protecting, or like we're making every effort to protect, right? We have business continuity and backups. We have tabletop exercises. That's more for the response piece of it. But from a protection perspective, I mean, we've emphasized MFA. We've emphasized shutting down exposed listening services to the internet that are not necessary. We talk about patching systems and network segmentation to avoid lateral movement of ransomware as it moves. So, like, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what data science is going to do for us with this, but with all due respect, again, good on him, but I don't really agree. But social engineering is going to continue to be a thing, right, guys? Because it's good. All right, supply chain is the new ransomware. I feel like that's just like let's use like two buzzwords in the same title. Okay, ransomware as a service actors pivoting to SMB. They say government and big companies are pouring cash into cybersecurity. Underfunded and understaffed SMBs are prime targets for ransomware groups. Okay, so a couple things here. One, ransomware as a service is a thing. It expands the, I guess the potential target pool and the number of threat actors who are actually perpetrating it. They're arguing that because more people are dumping money into protecting their organization, that the softer targets will be small businesses. Again, with all due respect, I'd like to offer a different opinion. I would suggest that small businesses are just as likely to get hit today as they are tomorrow, because threat actors are just spraying, looking for entry points, and then doing some recon on who is the target that they've actually exploited. Because sometimes people, I don't know if you guys know this, but sometimes like threat actors, like they don't even know who they've got, right? They just spray and then they get a bunch of footholds and they're like, okay, now we have to figure out who we just targeted. This isn't like a Mission Impossible movie where like they're just focused on like this target and they've already done all the recon. Sometimes they get the victim and then they have to figure out who the victim is. And by doing that analysis, they can figure out how much revenue that company makes. Maybe they find insurance policies in the corporate files and they understand exactly how much the ransomware policy will pay out. And then they attack that. As far as small businesses, again, like if I'm a ransomware threat actor, yeah, I mean, I don't care who my victim is, but am I really going to target a company that makes like $800,000 a year, or am I going to target a company that makes 750 million? Like, it's kind of a no brainer. And yeah, the more will get hit, but I don't see it being like the focus. Larger businesses, they might dump more money into cybersecurity, but they're not doing it well, right? Some of them are doing it well. I would stay away from financial services. They're definitely doing it well. But for the most part, the larger the business, the more issues they have, frankly, because there's more people, more end users, more infighting, more, tech stacks and stuff like that. Okay. And then the final one for level 5, prediction 5, is that the cybersecurity industry needs better coordination. They say here, as we've seen with the evolution of malware as a service, phishing as a service, threat actors are willing to join forces for mutual success. For example, when Emotet was taken down by law enforcement, which we saw earlier this year, which was awesome, TrickBot stepped up and began reseeding Emotet affections to get them back into operation. But we don't see any kind of collaboration on the victim side. So we're going to need more of that. Again, yeah, I agree. And this is already actually happening. The public-private sector, CISA, is promoting public-private sector collaboration. If you've ever heard of an ISAC, Information Sharing Analysis Centers, there's one for most major industries: manufacturing, automation, financial services. They are doing threat intel sharing, right? So I don't know. Like, again, another kind of safe prediction, I would say. I'm going to read some chat here, guys, because I'm enjoying this. Billions put into companies every year, billions stolen for cybercrime. That's right, blazing up. Congratulations. Oh, I didn't see what Zidiishus did, but if the community is congratulating you, I would also like to take a leap of faith and congratulate you as well. I'm sure it definitely is a warranted. Do you see evil twins being exploited with 3G sunsetting? Evil twins. Hold on. I know what that is. I can't think right now. I gotta have some coffee. I'm sorry, Paul. I can only see like a little bit of the chat. I don't have the YouTube thing up right now. Confusion. Answer, please. I received my master's in cybersecurity in 2028. That's impressive. Yet till this day, I have to get an entry-level job in cybersecurity. Why? Well, I'm assuming that was a typo on when you got it. It's quite possible. Practical experience has a lot of value right now. If you only have academic experience, you may have a tough time, justifying. If it's 2018, you've had 3 years. Hopefully, it depends which program is. It depends what your academic course curriculum consisted of. But practical skills, labs, and networking are going to be invaluable in getting a job. Okay, let's move on. I got a fun one for you guys here. The next one is check out that Death Star out of ASCII text. Isn't that sweet? Experts detail logs tool of Danderspitz framework used by equation group hackers. Okay, cybersecurity researchers are offered a detailed glimpse into a system called Double Feature that's dedicated to logging the different stages of post-exploitation stemming from a deployment of Danderspitz, a full-featured malware framework used by Equation Group. Double Feature can be used to understand the Danderspitz modules. It's a Python-based dashboard that also doubles as a reporting utility to exfiltrate the logging information from the infected machine to an attacker-controlled server. Okay, so let me tell you guys real quick, just so we're all on the same page. Okay, I'm probably going to get like a shadow banned somehow for this. If you don't know, we talk about like fuzzy bear, cozy bear, giant panda, whatever, like pink cobra. Like these are these threat APTs, threat actor names that FireEye gives them, but they're all APTs. APT 31, 48, 28, 41. Equation Group is an APT. It is the United States. If you don't know that, so it's the NSA, and that's what it's called in the global cybersecurity community. So we are not just we're not we also have an APT. Okay, so if you guys recall, a couple, maybe last year or 2 years, actually it was 2017 because WannaCry used Eternal Blue. In 2017, shadow brokers basically released a trove of tooling that was Equation Group. So basically the NSA's tooling set for how they run operations offensively. And Eternal Blue was the famous one. CVE 2017 10701, I think, or something like that. Anyways, it took advantage of an SMB share thing. Well, these researchers are still looking all of that tool, and basically there's one called Danderspitz framework, and essentially it is a post-exploitation framework, meaning if you guys have ever heard, Metasploit is a very popular framework, and Metasploit is used for exploitation for the most part. Post-exploitation, as the name suggests, is once you've compromised the machine and you are in it, you've got a foothold. Now what do? You do post-exploitation. You cover your tracks. You set up a persistence mechanism. So if they reboot it or patch it or whatever, or change the user account, whatever it is, you can get back in. You set up C2 beaconing. You inventory the machine. You privilege escalation, right? These are all post-exploitation activities. Cobalt Strike is a post-exploitation framework, okay? The one that Equation Group developed was called Danderspitz, and it has all these modules, but how do you know which module to use? Well, that's what this double feature executable comes in, where the double feature basically looks at the actual system and says, yeah, Cobalt Strike is a C2 tool, Josh, but it's a it's also yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Enumerating privity. Yeah, it does. It's post-exploitation. So double feature basically looks at the machine and says, hey, here are the actual tooling or modules that will work on this machine. It basically informs the attacker or the operator on what will work and what won't work. And they've got like a pretty good, screen here. You can see this is what the actual dander spritz framework looks like, and the different tools and stuff like this. So I'd encourage you to check out this particular story. It's actually quite interesting. Final one, and this one's a fun one. Spider-Man No Way Home. Maybe you guys have seen it. Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah. So Spider-Man No Way Home, if you guys are keeping up with what's going on in the world, it just released. It's a box office smash. Tom Holland's dreamy Zendaya is every woman likes her, or whatever. Like, they're a power couple right now, and they're likable. So the movie is crushing it. Well, here's the thing. Like anything else, threat actors are capitalizing on the popularity of it, and people who want to steal or download pirated copies of it will go on torrent, and do what they do. Okay. Well, here's the thing. Some clever person has baked in a Monero, which is the privacy crypto, into a download of a torrent. Now, whether or not the actual torrent includes the movie itself, I don't know, but you run it and it'll install a Monero miner onto your machine. There's actually a really awesome write-up on Reason Labs blog, who's the one who did this work. And you could see, if you guys if you want to dabble in malware analysis and you're interested in malware analysis, this is a awesome analysis that covers everything. You can see they've got the code here. They break out all of the different elements of why it's happening. They show you the injection. I know you can't read that because it's small. This is really cool. The process tree, as of right now, when you drop it in VirusTotal, it does not detect it as any particular piece of malware. I've actually reached out to the author of this article, who is her name is where is she? Her name is Dana Yosefich. Wonderful piece of research. I reached out to her and told her, A, I thought she did a wonderful job with this, and then B, I want a copy of the malware. They didn't provide a link to it, probably to protect people from themselves, but I want to get a piece of that malware and take a look at it. So we'll see how that goes. So that is the stories. I am going to talk for a minute here with you guys. I just want to share that we have a really special guest coming on January 6th. So the typical Thursday live stream for Simply Cyber. We're having John Strand on, leader over at Black Hills Information Security, longtime SANS instructor, wonderful personality, very engaging, great contributor to the community. If you know who he is, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you don't know who he is, let me introduce you to him. Come by on Thursday. It's going to be awesome. If you guys are interested in partying today at noon, I will be hanging out with Simon Lindstedt talking about cybersecurity. I'm not even sure. I forget exactly what we're going to be talking about here, but it's going to be a good time. It's going to be chill. That's why I've used my Chill Jerry profile photo instead of my starchy, stuffy business coat Jerry profile photo. So if you're looking to crush it and have some fun later today at lunchtime, come on over. Of course, in a minute, I'm going to suggest that we go raid Neil Bridges' Cyber Insecurity Livestream, AMA. I'll provide a link to that in a minute, but I do want to hang out with you guys for a second and see what's up. I'm dabbling in malware analysis, want some good examples of how to format my publishings. Yeah, Joseph, check out that story. She did, she did an amazing job. I also want to share personally, there is an individual named Josh Stroschein, Stroschein, who is a banging malware analysis expert. I love his stuff. He and I went through our PhD together at Dakota State. So I know him really well, like personal friend. And I've never seen someone as gifted at not only doing malware analysis, but being able to communicate effectively on what he's done and what is going on in the code and stuff like that. He's a real gift. Yeah, Base, good to see you. Couldn't attend the live. It would start at 4:30. We'll watch replay as usual. Thanks, Mubriz. Don't forget, if you are live in 3.5 hours on Simply, yeah, exactly, Simon. I'm pumping it right here. Check it out. Yeah, Peter McKinnon knows Dr. Stroh as well. Can't recommend it enough. Um, to dabble in cyber is coding a requirement? No, it helps, at least being able to read it. But it depends what you want to do, Corey Nels, right? Um, if you want to do malware analysis, if you want to do something real technical, you want to be a more advanced pen tester, you want to do exploit code. Um, you need to know how to program, but you want to do audit compliance. You don't really need to know that. Love the morning briefings. What was the outcome of moving to these to noon? Hey, David. So I teach also at university, the Citadel War College here, and starting January 13th, my time is Tuesday and Thursday at 8 a.m. to 9:15 a.m. That's the class I teach. So I won't be able to do this at 8 a.m. those days because I'll be teaching. But I don't want to just go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So my thought is I will test starting that week of January 13th, and I'll make this all very clear to you guys. I will start doing noontime, and I'll do it for a few weeks. Of course, the semester is going to go through like May, but based on the community response, if noon is working, then I'll just keep doing noon. If noon is not working, then I'll just do either Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 a.m. and Tuesday, Thursday at noon. I think having two different time slots throughout the week might be really confusing for folks. I don't know. Maybe I'm underestimating y'all. But let me know. Again, you guys know as well as I do, especially if you're a regular here. I'm interested in making this work for us. This isn't all like about me. This is about us. So if 8 noon, 8 for the week works for everybody, I'll do that. If it's noon, I'll do that. Like I said at the beginning, the whole reason that I went through all the trouble of doing the write-ups today and stuff like that is because I feel compelled to serve, and I want to do that. So I have a 5-year. Oh wait, oh god, this chat's moving quick. Great plan, Gerald. As long as you give us reminders. Yep, absolutely, Kimberly. I will conduct some raffles. Oh god, the stream. It's like it's like trying to read a Twitter stream right now. If wanting to get a mini crash course in Pash Cyber Aces tutorial, yeah, Cyber Aces is awesome, guys. If you really don't have any background in technology and you want, or you need to learn basics operating system, basics networking, cyberaces.org. It's free. It's put on by SANS, and it's really good. It's like lab-based stuff, and you'll enjoy that. Hey, Josh, thanks, Jerry. I'll make it work. Sounds like more coffee. Yeah. I still got half a cup here, guys. Abayami, thank you. Oh, Shiniri, thank you. I appreciate that. I hope you're pronouncing your name right. I see you in here all the time, and I really, really appreciate you. Oh, another thing, I've been meaning to do this for some time, um, and I haven't. But I want to take a minute to really explain something that you guys may not know, and it's important to me. Okay, let me see this. Okay, so check this out. I want to point out something. So you guys know that like Simply Cyber, it's a YouTube channel. It's monetized. You guys, if you go to any of my videos, like you'll get an advertisement at the beginning, which generates ad revenue, and I get some money or whatever, and it helps me buy like a new camera and these fancy lights and these colored ones behind me, and maybe a Black Hills InfoSec shirt. Okay, but I'm really like I have conviction here that first things first will not ever be monetized. Like I just like doing it, but I do want to point out part of my logic behind it, or in my mind, is that um, we Simply Cyber currently has like memberships. It's like this YouTube sub thing, the way like Twitch does it. But I'm not saying you guys have to do this. This will always be free. All this information will be available to you no matter what, whether or not you're a member or not. It has nothing to do. There's nothing gated here as far as membership goes. But I do want to say, can I zoom in on this so I can like recognize? I want to I just want to like give recognition to these folks, right? Because in my mind, they are the reason that I'm not going to charge or whatever, pay gate or advertise the first things first, because like this is supporting me in some capacity, and I just want to say thank you. So Stacy and Jax and Simon and Tom and Glenn and Russ and Pavel, Bhavna, she joined yesterday, and I messaged her this morning, and we had a little chat. So I just want to say thank you. I guess is what I want to say. Thank you for making Simply Cyber something that I can do, something that gives me great pleasure, and it's just very satisfying to serve. How many members are you at as of right now? Thank you, Base. Let's see. It looks like it's hard to tell. I probably don't understand how to actually read this well. I think we're at 9 total members. Yeah, yeah. I think 9 or 12 total members as of right now, which is fantastic. And just I haven't made a video about this or any of that stuff, but basically there's like 3 tiers, but 2 of them are really like to support the channel, right? So it's like a $2 and a $5 tier to support the channel. The other one is a $99 tier, but it's a totally different thing. I get asked all the time for like mentoring, coaching, resume reviews, like these things that are much more involved. So I created that top tier. So like if you do need something like that, I don't expect a lot of people to be in that top tier, but like if you need stuff like that, you join the top tier, and then I set up stuff and we do mastermind groups. I actually like Russell Brinson is the only person at that level right now, and we had the December mastermind group last week, and we walked through a bunch of stuff to get him set up. We did it in real time. It was actually a really productive session. So just to, I guess, kind of go a little further, clarifying like what these things are, what these tiers are. Happy to switch over to YouTube. Gonna sign up today. Oh, thanks, Anthony. That's very, very nice of you. What happens with the folks that boost the Discord? I don't know. When you join the squad, is what I'm calling that membership. When you join it, you do get a special role in Discord. You do get access to certain things in Discord, like sub chat and a couple other things. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm not really an expert at Discord. So if it makes sense to do something, I guess I'll ask Base. Base is always helping me with Discord. If it makes sense to do something for boosters, let me know, and I'm certainly happy to do that. Yeah, Rob, I got your coffee. I really did appreciate that. I am going to be doing the video for Monday. Will basically be the 2021 year in review, and 2022 what's coming next for Simply Cyber. So it's really a video more committed and dedicated for the Simply Cyber community, and less of like a cybersecurity topic video. But I did one last year. It was really nice. I kind of think it is like the annual town hall or the annual shareholders meeting of the Simply Cyber community. We'll be back in this YouTube this morning. I really appreciate the content here. Yeah, my pleasure. We had a GRC session yesterday. We hope Gerald gives us more GRC sessions. Yeah, I know I've been talking about this a little bit. Part of the reason I got up early this morning was I was going to continue working on the GRC course that I've been developing. Here, like, I don't know. If you guys want, I'm happy to show you right now. Let me know. Let me see. Give me a second. Please talk amongst yourselves. Just give me like 1 second, and I'll show you what this thing looks like. Hey, Sri Lanka. First time catching this live. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so check this out. If you guys want to see this really quickly. So I bought a Teachable membership thing, and it's the Definitive GRC Analyst Masterclass is what I'm calling it. And you can see the curriculum here. Okay, so check it out. This is what it's going to be. Okay, guys. I've never shown this to anyone. Okay, so you guys are getting it here. So check it out. The entire purpose of this class is to take someone who knows nothing about GRC and enable them to be able to be, a practical GRC analyst. Okay, so first things first, getting started. This is all standard stuff, right? Like it's the first day of class, right? Here's the syllabus. Here's what you can expect. Here's what I expect of you. Here's how you maximize value, et cetera. Let's get into it. Cybersecurity primer. If you don't know anything about anything, I need to explain to you basic stuff, right? CIA triad, these things. Hey, Kellen, can you close that door, please? Yeah. What's cybersecurity? What's a GRC analyst do? Where does it fit? There's a typo. Where does a GRC analyst fit in the big picture? And then there's actually going to be 2 technology classes. One is on operating systems and one is on networking. And then conclusion and touch points. If you want to join the membership, there should be on YouTube, there should be like a join button underneath. I don't know if someone in chat can help. I can't really, I'm sorry, I can't show you right now. But here, okay, so guys, here's the thing that I think is gonna like be not mind blowing, but like here's what I think is like where this is gonna be really cool. Okay, so there's a compliance and audit work section. There's a security awareness work section. There's a risk section. There is a governance section. And then there's actually, how do you get a GRC job? Now let me scan back, right? How is this going to be different? Guys, for each section of this work, it's like, here is the theoretical stuff. Here are the frameworks. Here's regulations and standards. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Each section has a practical lab, which no one's doing this. Like, there's very little GRC training already, but no one's doing practical GRC with a lab. Like for this particular one, is this compliance? I think I'm going to do a lab. Like, yeah, it'll be a little boring, but what I don't care is what the work is. I'll actually pick out like some audit standard and we'll walk through, and I'll give you the tooling that I use, which is usually an Excel spreadsheet that's done up all fancy, but we'll walk through a lab of like how to do that. And then when we're done with that lab, see this resume bullet unlocked? I'm actually going to give, if you do this lab and study this stuff, I will give you the bullets that you can copy and paste into a resume, because guess what? You've just done that work, right? It's very practical, hands-on, applying what you just learned in the theory section, and then giving you a resume bullet to unlock. And props to Josh McAdor. That guy is killing it on YouTube cybersecurity. And he starts some of his videos with like, here's a resume bullet that you'll get out of that video. And I thought that was so valuable that I baked it into this course. Again, rinse and repeat. What do you need to know about security awareness? It's more than just a PowerPoint, right? So these titles might not make sense, but when you take the class, it'll make sense, right? So who are you speaking to? What tools can you use? Let's do a practical lab. Let's actually develop a piece of awareness training that's practical, targeted to our audience, and like, let's post it on LinkedIn. I haven't figured out exactly how to post this thing, but I want people to be held accountable. So maybe we can post it to LinkedIn with a hashtag like masterclass GRC or something like that. So we can see it, and you can be accountable and proud of the work that you're doing too. Again, resume bullet unlocked. Risk work, right? Threat modeling. Let's assess some risk. Again, like, let's talk about it. Okay, so you've got, I haven't figured out what the lab's going to be for this yet, but like, let's just say you're a small business, 3-provider healthcare clinic with 17 staff, and you outsource X amount of things, and you want to outsource, or you guys want to buy Salesforce or something like that. What's the risk of that, right? What's the practical risk? Like, I will step you through executing this risk analysis, and then boom, resume bullet unlock. Okay. Again, governance, we're going to look at, policies, procedures, standards, and then we're going to write a policy, which again can be dry, but if you understand why you're doing it and you actually take the time to do it, then you know what you can do? You can put it on a resume because you've done it. And then once we build you all up, you're ready to kick butt. How do you get a job, right? So let's round this out completely. We've given you all of the education you need, but like, let's get you a job. And that's what this is all about. And then I just have like a stub in here for final thoughts where I basically want to tell you how awesome you are. And that's what that's going to be. So that's a little preview of my GRC masterclass. I know I've been talking about it, but throw the question in Discord. Someone will gladly help. Yeah, Base, thank you. I was really focused on the course preview just a second ago, so I wasn't watching chat. So with all due respect. But yeah, let's go over to Neil Bridges' stream right now. If you have time, I'm going to jump over there. As to Base's point, where is it? Yes. As to Base's point, if you can, do hashtag Simply Cyber when we get in there, so it's more of a raid, and we can make Neil know what's up and bring the heat from the Simply Cyber community. Okay, so I'm going to be going over there. I like to play my outro music though. Let's get this outro music going. Yeah. So this is The Midnight, my absolute favorite band. I want to tell you guys all, thank you for being here. Thanks for understanding that CISO Series didn't do a video today and allowing me to, I guess, come up with a plan B, right? Business continuity, as it were. Yeah. All right, guys. You're all fantastic. 2021 was great. Set some goals for 2022. Tell someone about them so you're held accountable. Let's get into it. Let's get after it. Got probably some big news coming for the Simply Cyber community, personal news that isn't firm yet, but I'll be sharing that with you guys as it becomes firm. So y'all be good. I'm going to go over to Neil Bridges' stream. So I hope to see you over there. #SimplyCyber when you get there. All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks.